meeting to order. Would you join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we please have roll call?
Yes, you may. Councilmember Kelly is absent. Councilmember Turner.
Here.
Councilmember Perkins. Here. Councilmember Armstrong.
Here.
Councilmember Granillo.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mendoza.
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here.
And Andrew McGuire, Town Attorney, is remotely.
Hello, Mayor. Hello. Introductions, presentations, and proclamations. We have none. So this will go on to the call of the public.
Call to the public is an opportunity for the public to address the council on any issue within the jurisdiction of the council that is not on the agenda. Public comment is encouraged. Individuals are limited to speak for 3 minutes. The total time for call to the public may be up to 30 minutes per meeting. Council action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or responding to criticism. Individuals who wish to speak, please state your first and last name and if you reside in Chino Valley town limits.
Okay, do we have anybody for call to the public? Okay, none. That makes it easy. Current event and summaries and reports. This item is for information only. The mayor, any council member, or town manager may present a brief summary or report of current events. If listed below, there may also be a presentation on information requested by the mayor and council, and questions may be answered. No action will be taken. I don't have anything. Anybody on this side have? Go ahead, Amy. Oh, Tom, you're next.
Go ahead. You go first.
Okay. I'm just going to read the press releases for those at home who might not be on social media. Last year, Chino Valley Police Department personnel responded to more than 10,000 requests for assistance, from criminal investigations to mental health crisis interventions to school security and animal complaints. To maintain a consistent professional response, the department relies on comprehensive, up-to-date policies. Recently, Chino Valley Police Department was recognized by Lexipool Connect program for achieving gold level for consistently and effectively disseminating policies to officers, issuing timely policy updates as laws change, and ensuring officers are trained on policies. Lexipool is the nation's leading content, public policy, and training platform for public safety agencies. The Connect program tracks Chino Valley Police Department's performance on 5 metrics proven to measure success in policy management. So congratulations to Chino Valley Police Department on that one. Next, Chino Valley Police Department has been awarded the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety Prop 207 grant. This partnership between Chino Valley Police Department and Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety provides funding which allows Chino Valley Police Department to purchase equipment to combat speeding and impaired driving. The grant award of $12,443.72 will cover the purchase of 3 Stalker 2 handheld radar units, 2 Stalker LiDAR unit, 2 intoximeter, portable breath tests, and an e-citation device printer. This equipment will assist Chino Valley officers in conducting traffic enforcements to keep our roadways safe from speeders, aggressive drivers, and impaired drivers. Chino Valley Police Department is asking the public to report areas they feel additional traffic enforcement is needed. To report this, please contact us at 928-636-4223, extension 2, and let our civilian officers know about the area of concern. So congratulations again, Chino Valley Police Department. Those are my 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Tom?
Yeah, I'm not sure how recent this is, but I'd like to thank Mr. Scott Bruner and his folks for being the people that went along with the Arizona Trails for the improvements out along the Peavine Trail, those signage and everything they did out there. And also like to thank the town manager for her visit to the Chino Valley Veterans Group this morning.
All right, thank you, Tom. Eric?
I'd just like to let the public know on March 27th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Chino Valley High School baseball team is putting on a baseball camp for the boys out there. So if you'd like to come and join them. April 3rd is opening ceremonies for Chino Valley Little League. And on April 14th, El Paraíso is hosting a fundraiser for the Chino Valley Youth Football and Cheer from 4 to 8 p.m. Portion of the proceeds will go to the Chino Valley Youth Football and Cheer. Would like to see everybody out there.
All right, thank you. Anybody? Corey? Ms. Blackmore? All right, we're moving on. Consent agenda. All the items listed below are considered to be routine and may be enacted by one motion. Any council member may request to remove an item from the consent agenda to be considered and discussed separately. Would anybody like to remove the item?
Mr. Mayor, P13.
I'm sorry.
Action item A, P13. Consideration and possible action to adopt ordinance. This is for the zoning request for the Ginn property. It gives two options.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We're still on 5A.
We're on consent.
Too much copy.
And so the consent, would anybody like to also?
I make a motion to approve consent agenda item A as
Second.
written.
Motion made. Tom, did you second that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Action items. The council may vote to recess a public meeting and hold executive session on any item on this agenda pursuant to ARS 38-431.0383 for the purpose of discussion and or consultation for legal advice with the town attorney. Executive sessions are not open to the public and no action may be taken in executive session. And as Mrs. Perkins stated, item A is withdrawn by the owner. Do we need to read it?
He is not withdrawn. He's requested a continuation to a date certain.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. So yes, we need to read it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Consideration possible action to adopt ordinance 2021-898 to rezone approximately 8.56 acres of real property from the AR5 agricultural residential 5-acre minimum to SR1 single-family residential 1-acre minimum in order to further subdivide the property. Will.
Alrighty. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. The item before you, the applicant just recently requested a continuation of the item. He would like to have the item continued to second council meeting in April, which is April 27th. So I believe you guys would have to make a motion to continue that to that date certain.
Okay.
I make a motion to move action item 6A, consideration and possible action to adopt ordinance 2021-898 to rezone approximately 8.56 acres of real property from AR5 to SR1 in order to further subdivide the property, to reschedule that for April 27th.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, consideration and possible action to adopt ordinance 2021-897 to rezone approximately 5.66 acres of real property from the SR1 single-family residential 1-acre minimum zoning district to the SR 0.16 single-family residential 0.16 acre minimum zoning district with a pad planned area development to develop 10 lots with individual lot areas greater than 1/2 acre.
Alrighty. Hello, council. The item before you is a requested planned area development for the proposed Meadowview minor subdivision. This proposed development is a little different as it is a minor subdivision, meaning it is 10 lots or less, opposed to a major subdivision, which is greater than 10. If the applicant's request is approved, the development will come through town's technical review process and then go straight to town council for the final plat approval. The subject properties, it's 3 subject properties itself. It's located on the northwest corner of South Road 1 West and West Road 2 South. To the west, you have the Molly Ray subdivision, Angus Acres subdivision. To the northeast, you have the Serenity Court multifamily development, Wesdemar Farms undeveloped half-acre subdivision, the Chino Gardens half-acre subdivision, and the Wagon Wheel Ranch 1-acre subdivision to the southeast. Development contains 3 separate parcels totaling approximately 5.66 acres. Currently, the property is vacant. There used to be an outbuilding located on site that is still seen in the aerial image. However, that has since been demolished. This 5.66 acres of property were rezoned back in 2018 under ordinance 18-853 from AR5 to SR1 in order to further subdivide, which was subsequently done in 2020 and has sat vacant since. The general plan land use designation identifies these properties as medium density residential, 2 acres or less, with as well as the surrounding properties. To the east, you do have the commercial multifamily corridor, as well as a potential community core in the northeast corner there. The subject properties are currently zoned SR1. Immediately surrounding the properties, you do have some AR5, as well as some SR2. To the west, you have SR 2.5 in Angus Acres, Molly Ray up here with SR1, Serenity Court with commercial light. They do have a conditional use permit to operate as a multifamily development up here. You have Wezdemar Farms, which is that SR 0.16 planned area development with that half-acre minimum lot requirement. 1 acre to the southwest or southeast here for Wagon Wheel Ranch. And then you have a mobile home park a little further south to that development as well. Since the applicant is requesting a planned area development, a commercial plan is necessary for the rezoning. The applicant is proposing a 10-lot minor subdivision with an average lot area of 0.513 acres, which equates out to roughly 1.77 units per acre. Approximately 20% of the proposed lots will be reserved for open space for the development. The proposed community will have access through a newly created street that will be providing curb, gutter, and sidewalk on both sides of the internal roadway. The development will be utilizing City of Prescott water and on-site septic systems. The applicant will be held to a rural level of roadway improvements along South Road 1 West and West Road 2 South. The orientation on this plat is, or this conceptual plan is little off. North is to the right-hand side of the page. This is just a conceptual elevation of what the developer is proposing to install on these 10 lots. They are proposing manufactured homes with enough area to build a standalone double garage off to either the left or right of the unit itself. In order to make this development pencil for the developer, he is requesting a modification of the minimum street side yard setbacks on lots 5 and 6. He's asking for a reduction from 20 feet to 10 feet. To offset this, the applicant is proposing approximately 1 acre of open space, or 20%, roughly 20% of the site area, sidewalk on both sides of the proposed street, which is not required per code, as well as park benches being placed along the sidewalks. All proposed amenities will be maintained by a community HOA. The neighborhood meeting for this development was held on January 27th, 2021. Surrounding property owners were notified within 300 feet of the subject properties. 2 neighboring property owners were in attendance. They asked questions pertaining to whether or not the homes would be on well and septic. It's going to be private water system through City of Prescott and public water system through City of Prescott and private septic system. There will be a community maintained HOA. And then there were concerns brought up about the Chino Valley Irrigation District easement that is located on the property. The applicant is aware of that and he can work around that. One of the property owners are against this project as they would like to see this area as 1 acre and they feel that this density is too high. Planning and Zoning Commission was held on March 2nd, 2021. The commission discussed roadway improvements and the setback alleviation. They asked why the rural standard was held on West Road 2 South and South Road 1 West, and that's due to the surrounding development of these of this property itself. There isn't that need for a urban level in this area, or there isn't current urban level development out here of that high density like you do have on the east side of town with the Chino Meadows, Highlands Ranch, and Bright Star subdivisions. And then there was a question as to why the setback alleviation was needed. This was an ask from the developer in order to make sure the building envelopes, on lots along South Road 1 West were the same throughout the entire development on the other 8 lots. So we can ensure that he can get that manufactured home in there as well as the detached garage and meet setback requirements. There was no public comment at this meeting. There were members of the public in attendance. However, there was no comment from members either in opposition or in favor of this. Since the planning and zoning meeting was held, we have had 2 phone calls from neighboring property owners who were strongly opposed to this development based on the density of the project. In regards to general plan conformance, the requested rezone from SR1 to SR 0.16 planned area development, half-acre lot minimum, greater than half-acre lot minimum. The general plan calls out for medium density residential of 2 acres or less. This meets the intent of the general plan designation for this area. Zoning conformance, this requested zoning does conform with the medium density developments of under 2 acres in this general area, and it conforms to what the general plan is wanting in this area as well, or asking for. So to town staff's recommendation and the Planning and Zoning Commission, they forward a recommendation to town council to approve the rezoning of approximately 5.66 acres of real property from SR1, single-family residential, 1 acre minimum zoning district to the SR 0.16, single-family residential, 0.16 acre minimum zoning district with a planned area development to develop 10 lots with individual lot areas greater than 0.51 acres to allow for the reduction in street side yard setbacks on lot 5 and lot 6. I will open it up to questions from the council.
So each property is gonna have a garage on there?
That is the intention from the.
And setback says, he wants a setback off South Road 1 West, 10 feet,
Yes, on lot 6.
on lot 6 and 5.
Yep.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The only thing that I see is a little bit of a concern is on that same map. And I'm guessing because of the PAD, the lot exposure, the footage of frontage of each lot really wouldn't come into play on a PAD.
Yes and no. The underlying zoning district is that SR 0.16, which has a minimum of 50 feet of frontage on a roadway. In this case, that would be the standard or the minimum for these lots.
Okay. I see what looks like a little bit of cheating going on up there on the top. That
The applicant is aware of that and he will be addressing that. This is purely just a conceptual level. It'll be addressed in technical review to clear that up.
okay.
And
Well, my question was, pardon me, and that was in the public comment and the presentation and planning and zoning was made aware that these were going to be modular homes and not site built.
Correct.
That's all.
and just to understand, they're individual septics, or you said it's private septic?
So each lot will have their own individual septic system. Assuming
Anything else?
tests and everything come out.
Do you want to hear from the public? Is there any public that has comment on this? Okay, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I couldn't hardly see you. No, sir. Nope, not at all.
Yeah, you just opened the.
Don't be confused.
My name's Denise Goodwin, and I am a resident of Chino Valley. I currently own 3 parcels west of the said property with space of 1 parcel in between my parcels. And I just don't feel that this is a good situation for our neighborhood. We're all large parcels, 5 acres, 2.5 acres and up. And this would be the only thing in the area that even remotely looks like this as far as a mobile home park. And that's what it is basically. So in my opinion, it devaluates my area, my neighbors and so forth. We live there because we're rural, we have animals, and you're moving people in that don't conform to our area, basically, by putting this subdivision in there. I have another problem with the amount of septic tanks. We're talking 10 septic tanks on 5 acres, I believe. And that seems like a large amount of septic tanks for the site itself. So those are some of my concerns with the parcel or with the project. I know there's a need for this kind of project in Chino Valley. I just don't find that this area it would benefit this area at all. I would like to see it kept as site-built homes, at least an acre and above for us animal people that live in the area. So, thank you. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
ma'am. Any other comments?
Well, with that, make a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-897 to rezone approximately 5.66 acres of real property from SR1 zoning district to the SR 0.16 zoning district with a PAD to develop 10 lots with individual lot areas greater than 0.51 acres and allow for the reduction in street side yard setback on lot 5 and lot 6.
Motion made, is there a second? No second. Okay, motion dies. Item C, consideration and possible action to adopt ordinance 2021-899 to amend the Town of Chino Valley Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 154, by amending Section 2.1 meanings of words and terms by amending definitions relating to manufactured homes. You're not Will.
No, I'm not, Will. Before we go on to this item with the previous item, because the motion died, legal counsel can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there needs to be another motion in order to move it forward, either to deny it or to continue it or to table it. So
Andrew, what do you say?
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to have to disagree with Josh that the effect of a failure to get a second on a motion is a denial.
okay, that's good to know. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. The item before you is a text amendment request for manufactured home definitions and other related definitions. So town attorney and staff have worked together to draft changes to some existing definitions as well as adding a few new ones. The definitions being changed and added include building, factory built, guest house, manufactured home, modular home, motor home, park model trailers, park trailers, portable camping trailer, recreational vehicle, travel trailer, and truck camper. This proposed text amendment is to address an issue that has been going on in the town to fix the definitions to bring them more in line with state statute and the state definitions for these items. With that said, staff is recommending that the town council approve the text amendment and amend the Town of Chino Valley's Unified Development Ordinance, including modifications to existing definitions and adding a few additional new ones. With that, I can answer any questions or.
I'm sorry, I was reading. Any questions, comments on this? Yes, sir.
Yeah, Josh, on that situation and analysis discussion, it says under current town code, the definition of manufactured home is outdated and not in line.
That is correct.
Can we clarify that a little bit? How is it outdated?
It requires the measurement of manufactured homes on the exterior when the measurement of a manufactured home is a single family home and should be based on the interior measurements only. It also leaves open additional I'm not sure how much I can say. In fact, I'd like to turn that over to the town attorney to
Certainly.
answer.
You're up again, Andrew.
Sure, Mr. Mayor. Josh's hesitancy is because we're currently involved in litigation.
Hang on a second, Andrew. We can't hear you.
Andrew, hang on a minute. We got to turn you up a little bit. Aaron went to run, go do something. Turn up a little bit. I hope so.
Either that or she fled the building.
Okay, Andrew, try her now.
Can you hear me a little better?
No.
No, not really, but we'll all be quiet and listen.
How about I just really talk loudly? I can do that.
Okay.
Josh's hesitancy is because some of these provisions are part of ongoing litigation, so we don't want to be, we don't want to talk too much about some of the details that may involve that litigation. So we're kind of happy to answer the larger questions. Really, this is about trying to make sure that you reconcile your provisions with the state statutes, because you have some obligations under state law that are imposed upon you. And one of them is that the manufactured housing standards, if someone meets those standards, they are not going to be, you can't apply your regular building codes to them. And so because of that out, as it is from the building codes, there's a strict requirement in your town code that says that if someone's going to build a manufactured home in your town, that they're going to build it to the standards that are required by the state, and that the burden of proof is on them to prove that they can do that. Part two of that is that this particular type of housing is regulated and governed and inspected by the state, but because the state just doesn't have very many inspectors, they delegate that duty to cities and towns through an intergovernmental agreement. And in that intergovernmental agreement, you are prohibited from permitting manufactured homes that don't meet the requirements of the state statutes. And so when we discovered that you had definitions in your current code provisions, the UDO, that were out of step with the state statute, it made it very difficult to understand how to reconcile those things in terms of enforcement. And so this is reconciling them all to the state statute so that there is no gap anymore between them.
Okay. So if I'm understanding that right, and what I'm seeing here, we're not really creating any new town UDO or town code. We're basically just copying Arizona revised statute. And that's all been, I'm sure, litigated, whatever, at the state level. So by adopting the state statute, it pretty much covers us either way.
That's correct. And the other thing that it does for you, Vice Mayor, is if the state statute changes the definitions, you change along with them the way that this has been drafted, rather than having them potentially become different at some point in the future again.
Anything else?
So will we be in line because state supersedes, so whatever state goes, we'll follow right behind them, so that'll be nice being right in line with the state.
Yeah, we won't have to update the UDO. It'll stay in line with state.
Yes.
With that, anything else?
Anything?
I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-899 to amend the Town of Chino Valley Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 154, by amending Section 2.1, meanings of words and terms, by amending the definitions relating to manufactured homes.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
That's it. Okay, make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay. Motion made and second. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Wow. I'll see my family before.
Oh, I forgot, everybody, the council meeting for the 13th is not going to happen. It's canceled.
Oh.
So the next thing will be the study session on the 20th. Is that correct?